Another crazy day of the playoffs. These days just keep getting better. So leave a like and subscribe because we're going to recap all of these games. I originally thought we were only going to recap like one, maybe two, but they all had points to talk about. So let's get the best game of the day out of the way. The Philadelphia 76ers beat the New York Knicks and survive and pushed it to 6 games. And this was wild. This game was close the whole way, largely thanks to the Sixers role players. Embiid was not playing well offensively. He was just turning the ball over constantly. He had a triple double. He could have had a quadruple double with with turnovers too, but he had an impact at the end of the game. I'll give him that. So I don't know. He's injured obviously, but this was such a bad game to watch from him. He started out poorly in the first half as well. The Knicks had a hard time making a basket in the first place. And then I believe Hartenstein got fouled first, and he made a free throw. Then after that, their offense started rolling a lot better. And I believe no one really had control until the near end of the fourth. Well, okay, here. So Sixers led by 9. That's when the Knicks couldn't buy a shot, basically. And then Knicks had control for a large majority of this game. Constantly around like a 6-7 point lead. But it felt like they had control. Every time the Sixers would chip at it, Knicks would respond. And Sixers started coming back second half. And they even had a lead for half of that fourth quarter. And I'm like, oh shoot, we're actually going to get a game 6. And then the Knicks came storming back. Clutch plays and baskets from, I believe Jalen Brunson and Miles McBride hit a huge shot in the fourth that with like 30 seconds left that I'm like, all right, this game's over. Because no one comes back down 7 points, I believe. Or 6 points, something like that. We'll double check in a bit. But look here, he went 3 for 4 in that fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, not efficient, but he hit big shots. OG Anunoby was very timely in this game. Whenever it seemed that the Sixers would come back, it'd be OG hitting a shot to kind of cool the storm, basically. Another good game from Josh Hart. Not as many rebounds as usual, but still. That's one thing I noticed in the late game situations. Embiid and Batum would face straight towards Hartenstein or Hart so that they couldn't get a rebound. That's a great by them to recognize they need to do that. So, if I could go, let's see. They're up 5 with a minute or so left, and Anunoby makes it a 6-point game with a minute left, and McBride hits that shot with about 30 seconds left. And I'm like, all right, this game's over because there's only 29 seconds left. Maxey goes on. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll just show this one. Maxey goes on to just drill an and one 3-pointer. That was terrible. But Maxey just took over this game pretty much with 26 seconds left. You go from being dead in the water, and then you got a foul. Batum fouled Hart. Hart missed a free throw, but it's fine. He hit the next one, so they're still up 3 points. And then Maxey comes down and does this. Do you know how big of balls you need to have to do this with your season on the line? Look how far back he is. He's one dribble in from half court and just launches it because Mitchell Robinson, shout out. Let's see. He's right here because there's 10 seconds left. He doesn't think Maxey's going to pull it from right here, as no one would pull it from right here. And Maxey just hits the three and stuns that crowd. That's insane to me they were even able to come back. Most teams would have just flat out died. This Sixers team, like last year or years prior, they would have just died and gave up. But that didn't happen. And if we take a look here, New York had a lead in overtime. They were up about 5 points for a bit. And the Sixers took over. Sixers played amazing defense in that last quarter. I believe they were up 2. Up 2 after that. Brunson missed a layup. Batum just throws it over. Sixers had so many turnovers. I can't believe they won this game, genuinely. And let's see. Missed a layup. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think it was this one. Yeah. That's not good. It's not Hartenstein's fault. Obviously, he's a big man, so he's supposed to go get the rebound in a 2-point game. Great contest from Batum. Because I thought Jalen Brunson was about to hit this, but apparently he didn't feel confident enough. You can see Embiid here. Previously, Embiid just had a huge block to, I believe, give them like a 4-point lead or something, or allow them to take the lead. So, Embiid played some great defense. He ended up with a flagrant foul. I think it was a little controversial because I don't think he should have had that. But, oh, yeah, Kelly Oubre made a shot so much harder than it needed to be. He had like a wide open dunk and bounced the ball too high, and then he barely got a layup to go. Then I believe he had like a fast break dunk. But this game is the Tyrese Maxey game. Embiid, the slander he would have gotten, even though he's basically paralyzed. Tyrese Maxey showed up. Also, shout out Tobias Harris. When I was watching him, it felt like he was playing actual good basketball instead of usually when I feel like he's not. Batum hit timely shots, it felt like. But yeah, this is just Maxey's game. And if you're the Knicks, you got to close it out at Philly, basically. Because you don't want to give them any more momentum. They already have momentum. You don't want to give them any more. So that might be a tough task. You guys do have a lot of fans in Philly that are willing to travel. Jalen Brunson played good, by the way. Shout out him. He had 40 points. And yeah, just Tyrese Maxey outplayed everyone. So that was a wild. These playoffs have so many good games. Oh my god. We'll talk about this one. I didn't get to watch a lot of it because I was busy watching the Knicks and Sixers. But I watched the fourth quarter, and this game was awesome too. Paolo basically pretty much carried the offense for a majority of it. And D. Mitch, I know he started out slow, but I believe he did a lot of the scoring in the fourth quarter. 14 points, yeah, from 10 free throws. Still, a bucket's a bucket, I guess. I really did think Orlando was going to win because they had momentum. And also I heard Jared Allen was not going to play. Did he not? Yeah, he didn't play. So he was like a late scratch. And I'm like, oh, well, Orlando's going to lead now going home. But nope. It was back and forth the whole fourth quarter. Usually the Cavs had the lead. If I could look at it, yeah, just back and forth. And the play of the game was no other than Evan Mobley with this play. Great block by him to not be able to foul because, obviously a situation like that for a young player is going to be hard. and just great defense from him. I thought that he was going to try to dish out to Paolo, because Paolo just hit a 3 before that, like a few minutes ago, that gave them like a 1-point lead or something. But this was the first actual interesting game. So shout out that. Sucks the series might be over now that it's interesting. But for the Magic, I just had to say, my only notes were tough loss after trading blows the whole game, and let's just see how this young team regroups, because this is their first playoff run. They are the second youngest team, or they might be younger than the Thunder. I don't know. One of the two youngest teams in the whole league. I'm very curious to see how they regroup after a loss like this. As you can see, okay, Wagner played all right. Wendell Carter Jr., he played pretty good. Yeah, they need Franz to play better. I feel like all the games they do win, Franz is very clearly their best or second best player. And you just need Mitchell to be better if you want a comfortable win. Cleveland has a chance to close this out in 6. I think it might go 7, though. But that's just because that Orlando crowd really hypes up Orlando. And lastly, this was probably the most surprising game, in my opinion. I thought, because Dame and Giannis were out, I'm like, all right, well, I guess Indiana versus, who are they facing? Winner of the Sixers series. Nope. Indiana came out strong. They had like a 10-point lead, I believe. Yeah, they had like a 10-point lead. And then Milwaukee stormed back in about the second quarter and never looked back. Not a good all-around game from Halliburton, but he had 16 points. How many of that was like... whatever, I can't check. But not a great game from Siakam. You need Siakam to do better. Pretty much just not a great game from anyone, really. Like, great game, not just good game. Yeah, just not great. They didn't even have like a fake comeback. Pretty much when Milwaukee took a lead, they never looked back. Shout out everyone on Milwaukee. To know your two best players probably aren't coming back this series, although Dame might in Game 6. I'm going to check after this how far apart these games are. But Chris Middleton, huge game from him. 29 points. That's what you need if you want a chance to win this series. Bobby Portis, this is the legacy game I was talking about. Not the one where he gets ejected. He also had 29 points. Brook Lopez was fine. Malik Beasley, this was probably his best shooting game I've seen from him. There was a point in the third or fourth, he grew like an 11-point lead to a 19-point lead all by himself. So phenomenal. Shout out Patrick Beverley, had really good steals. Very great energy from him. And he was good today. Another thing I wanted to mention was Danilo Gallinari. He didn't look totally unplayable out there, which was wild to me. But yeah, it was surprising. I should have... Oh yeah, shout out not playing Jay Crowder because he was bad like last game. And this whole series, basically. But shout out Doc Rivers. I forget that he is actually a very good coach when there are no expectations on him to win. And you give him like the worst roster ever. He's a great floor raiser coach. But if you're Indiana... I guess I should have seen it coming more because this is a young team, and young teams tend to have trouble like closing things out. Close it out in where is it? Close it out in Indiana, or else if you let this go to 7, I don't know if I like the chances of you winning, because if it goes to 7, then at that point Damian Lillard's probably gonna play, and Giannis is probably gonna play. So. My advice to Indiana, Don't make this harder than it needs to be. That's been my advice ever since Dame got hurt. Don't make it harder than it has to be. And they've made it harder than it has to be. Here are tomorrow's games. This one should end the series. Surprisingly, no series ended today. And this one should be very good to watch. And, okay, there's only one day of rest between that and, let's see, Saturday. Ooh, okay. I hope we get a game 7 in the first round. But yeah, that's about it for today. A great day again. And leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.